My wife asked me to bring my son to a family gathering, but L brought his ashes. It's an outrageous story. On the eve of the middle school exam, my son suffered a sudden myocardial infarction due to extreme stress and was rushed to the hospital. I was highly anxious outside the rescue room, and I called my wife. However, the provoking voice of my wife's dream boy came from the other end of the phone. Mr. Richards, my pet dog Cat was hit by a car, and she is taking care of Cat for me. Please do not disturb her. I didn't care about his provocation, and I yelled on the phone, telling her that our son's life was in danger. But her angry roar came from the phone. Ben, I've had enough of you. Please stop using our son as an excuse for your jealousy. The light in the emergency room went out, and the doctor came out with a gloomy face, saying to me, I'm sorry, we did our best. I was in great pain and sent her a message, divorce. She quickly replied, as you wish. My heart was completely dead. I, heartbroken, handled my son's funeral alone, during which I did not inform her or any of her family members. Until my son came out of the crematorium, leaving only an urn, I couldn't accept all of this. 2 days ago, my son was still looking forward to getting into a well-known high school. He was so innocent and so adorable. His future was originally full of infinite possibilities. But now, all he left was a handful of ashes in the urn. Thinking of my son's every little thing, I couldn't control my emotions and couldn't help but burst into tears. Just as I was about to leave the crematorium with my son's urn, Reva Bell called. How did our son's exam go? He didn't perform well enough due to nervousness, did he? My hand holding the urn couldn't help but tremble. You should go find him yourself, and ask him in person. Look at you. Still jealous? Reva explained nonchalantly. At that time, Lewis's pet dog was hit by a car. Do you know how sad he was? In that situation, if I didn't accompany him, he would definitely be upset. Our son has you to accompany him, but he can't do without me. I was listening to Reva's explanation. One word, heartless, suddenly appeared in my mind. How shameless a woman must be to make her affair sound so righteous. Even her son, in her eyes, was not as important as a pet dog. Enough. I couldn't stand Reva's voice anymore. I just wanted to deal with my son's ashes as soon as possible to let him rest in peace. I said indifferently, except for the divorce, please don't bother me anymore. Reva was silent for a moment on the phone. She seemed very unhappy. I agreed to the divorce. But today is my mother's birthday, and our son's exam is also over. No matter what, you have to show me some respect. Bring our son over. Don't embarrass me. Looking at the urn in my arms and thinking about the ugly faces of Reva's family, I agreed. Okay, I will definitely bring our son. I got to know Reva in high school. At that time, my grades were consistently first in the class, and Reva's exam scores were always behind me, although sometimes just 1 point behind. But even if it was only 1 point, she could only rank second. She was competitive and unwilling to be second, so she used many methods against me. However, at that time, I knew my family was poor, and I only had one way out, which was to get into a prestigious university. No matter what means she used to tempt me, I was unmoved. She got all helpless and ended up using herself as bait to pull off some beauty trick on me. After self-study in the evening, she asked me to meet her on the school playground and asked me to be her boyfriend. This trick really worked. I lost myself in front of her, and it wasn't until after the college entrance examination that she confessed the truth to me. But she said she also played the part and really fell in love with me. We experienced 4 years of sweet love in college. On the day of graduation, she was pregnant, and we chose to get married. However, similar to numerous other couples, the time following our marriage was not always as blissful as our love-struck period. The gap in our family backgrounds was just too huge. She was, like, a super rich heiress, and my family was just some average small-town crew. The vast difference in family background led to haughtiness and bias among family members. Although we didn't care at first because of our honeymoon period, time diluted everything. As our child grew day by day and our careers changed, especially after she inherited the family business and became the CEO, our relationship became influenced. It was no longer the same as before. With the appearance of her dream boy, Lewis Carter, our relationship was almost entirely non-existent. The only thing that kept us connected was our son. But now, our son was dead. I no longer had any worries or restraints. I arrived at the Bell family's villa. They were all gathered together, laughing and chatting. The man sitting next to Reva was no longer me but another man. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.